You have heard of my people. You think you know us. Small, cheerful. We live in holes in the ground and grow vegetables and bake bread, and we would not hurt a fly. Let me start with the part your stories got right. We do live in holes. Your most famous storyteller put us underground and made us gardeners and the occasional burglar, and he was not wrong about the underground. A hole is the best house ever built. You simply never asked why. A burrow is warm in winter without burning down a forest to keep it that way. It is cool in summer when the sun would cook a house of stone. The earth does the work, we only shape it. No drafts, no roof to leak, and, this is the part you miss, it cannot be seen. You build upward, towers, banners, so the whole world knows you are there. We build into the hill, so the world forgets us. One of those keeps you warm, the other keeps you alive. We decided to have both. My grandmother built the finest hole in our valley, Milo Ashwick. Her door was round and plain, and you could walk past it 100 times and never guess a family lived 3 rooms deep behind it. Inside it was warm enough to sleep without a blanket in the dead of winter. She built it for the cold. She also built it for the unwanted guest. 2 problems most of you pretend are different. She never held a weapon in her life. She did not need one. She could read a man's purpose before he had finished knocking, whether he came to trade, to beg, or to take. I learned more from Mara than from anyone I ever met who carried steel. So yes, we live in holes. They are warm, they are clever, they are kind. Hold on to that picture for a moment, because this is where you go wrong with it. Spend one night in a halfling hole and you will not want to leave. Good food, and more of it than you can finish. A fire that never quite goes out. Stories that run too long and nobody minding. We live a long time, 200 years some of us, and we spend it on small, warm things. Most of us never travel past the next valley. We do not need to. Everything worth having is already on the table. Your storytellers love this about us. The cozy little folk. The ones who remind the grim, tall heroes what they are fighting for. And it is true. I will not pretend it isn't. The warmth is real. The welcome is real. But watch what you did with it. You saw people who were small and kind and fond of their comforts, and you decided that was all we were. Soft, harmless, background. A halfling in your story carries the soup, or the ring, or the joke, and then steps aside so the tall people can do the important things. Here is what 200 years in a warm room actually teaches a person. Patience, how to read a guest, how to wait. Mara ran that household for 140 years and never once raised her voice. And not one person who meant her harm ever made it past the round door. That is not softness. That is a kind of strength you do not have a word for, because yours always arrives with a sword attached to it. You looked at the warmth and called it weakness. You looked at the small door and called it quaint. You decided what sort of person lives in a hole. You should not have done that, because I grew up in one of those holes. The warm fire, the long table, the round door, Mara's grandson, and I kill people for money. Let me be clear about it, since your books never are. I am not cursed. I have no tragic past that broke me. No one murdered my family and set me on a dark road. I had a good childhood in a warm hole with a grandmother who loved me. I looked at the work and I found I was good at it. That is the entire story. A man hands me coin, another man stops breathing. That is the whole of the arrangement. No speech, no reason given to me, and none that I need. It is the cleanest work I know. Cleaner than the Lord who sends 1,000 men to die over a line on a map and calls it duty. He kills far more than I ever will. He simply gets a banner for it. That is the part your stories sell, and I do not buy. Honor, glory, the noble blade. Honor is the word people say over the bodies of men who died doing what they were told. I skip that word. It saves everyone a great deal of time, including the man I am paid to find. I do it softly when I can, from a distance, quietly. No struggle, no last words, no audience. Your assassins wear hoods, leave a calling card, and make a speech over the body. That is not a killer. That is a man who wants to be caught. The work, done properly, is dull. No one should ever know it was work at all. They should only think that he stopped. And here is the thing that ought to trouble you, sitting there deciding whether I am telling the truth. You would never have suspected me. Small, quiet, from a hole in the ground. You would have handed me your coat and asked me to mind your drink. I am not the exception you are hoping I am. Let me introduce you to a few of my neighbors. The light has gone. Good. Some things are easier to say in the dark. Let me be fair to my people before I frighten you about them. Most halflings are exactly what you imagine. Kind, warm, honest to the bone. The baker really did just bake you bread. The courier really never read your letter. They live their 200 years in a warm hole, harm no one, and they are the better part of us. I mean that, but not all of us. And you cannot tell which is which. That is the trouble. There is a baker 2 valleys over, Odo Marlow, the best bread in 3 villages and the kindest face you have ever seen. Children follow him down the lane. When someone in that region falls ill and quietly needs to stay ill, it is Odo they visit, after dark, by the back door. His herbs will cure you. A few of his other recipes do the opposite. No one suspects the baker. Why would they? There is an innkeeper, Pim Hollybrook, small, round, always laughing, refilling your cup before you ask. Men tell Pim everything, debts, troop movements, who sleeps in whose bed, because no one guards their tongue in front of a cheerful little host. Pim has never killed a soul. He sells what he hears, and what he hears has ended more men than I have. You believe danger is large and loud, the armored champion, the thing with teeth. So while you watch the door, the small thing is already behind you, pouring your wine. No guard searches the cook. No lord fears the courier. We pass unseen, and for most of us that means nothing at all. For a few of us, it means everything. You decided long ago that it meant nothing for all of us. That mistake is the most useful thing the few of us own, and you hand it to us for free. I have made a very comfortable living on it. So, what do you do with all this? Nothing, most likely, which is rather the point. You will go back to your stories, where the small folk are sweet and the danger is tall and dressed in black. It is a comfortable way to read a room. It is also why the room, now and then, kills someone. Here is the only thing worth taking from a man like me. The most dangerous person you will ever meet is the one you have already decided is harmless. You stopped watching them years ago. You handed them your coat. You told them your troubles. You let them refill your cup. It was never the hole that told you we were gentle. The hole told you only that we were warm and clever, and that we built a home meant to be missed. You added gentle yourself. You saw a small door and a kind face, and you wrote the rest of the tale, the way your authors always do, without asking. We are warm. We are clever. Our holes truly are the finest houses ever built. Every word of that is true. And some of us walk out of those warm, round doors to do quiet, terrible work, and then walk back in for supper, and you would never, ever know. So the next time some small, pleasant person you have entirely overlooked does you a small kindness, minds your drink, holds your door, offers you bread, enjoy it. It is, most likely, exactly what it looks like. Most likely. Tell me in the comments, Who is the harmless one in your favorite story? The one nobody watches? Name them. I am only curious. That is what we always say. I would tell you which of us to watch for, but that would spoil the one advantage you have left, which is that you are still here to wonder. Sleep well.